Saturday in Atlanta. According to a memo obtained by our Adam Schefter, all clubs will be invited to attend, and video of both the workout and the interview will be made available to all the clubs. Kaepernick's camp was not notified about the workout until Tuesday morning. Ryan Clark is in the building, still rubbing it in everybody's face.
What'd you say? Oh, wait. Wait, what? Are those tigers, Stephen A? Stephen A, is that a tiger? Oh, I see you not even here. Marcus was here yesterday. Suddenly you're gone. I'm here today. Again, you're gone.
Well,
I mean, I guess when the checks look like that, you can say when you're gonna be here and when you're not. Sure seems scary to me.
Hold on, Ryan. Ryan Clark, did you not do an interview on the road just a couple of weeks ago with somebody?
I can't remember.
Wasn't that you? Yes, you did. I just interviewed James Harden. That's why I'm here. Is that all right? Is that all right? That's a good reason to be gone. What did you say?
It is a good reason to be gone. I think you're running though, but it's cool. You could have been here.
Listen, I think where I am running. I'm running tomorrow. I don't want to see Ed Ezra tomorrow. I don't want to see Ed Ezra tomorrow. I don't want to see him. That's rubbing it in. I got to deal with you and Marcus, and then y'all bringing the head coach of LSU. That is totally unfair. That's a low blow. You and Marcus pulled that off. Y'all booked that guest. Y'all did this to me. But it's all right.
We didn't have to pull it off. We didn't have to pull it off because we won. Because nobody wants to see Nick Saban now. Your boy. Nobody wants to talk to your boy. They didn't show up for you. You did all that selling out. All that, all that. And look at you. You got to be on the road. It's a shame.
I have no comment.
All right. I hope you're not shooting jumpers again with Harden, Stephen A. Let's get to Kaepernick, though.
Oh, no. Never that. Never that.
Which team should want Cap?
Stephen A?
For me personally, believe it or not, I think there's several, but I think the Chicago Bears. I think the Chicago Bears desperately need another quarterback. They're desperately looking for another quarterback. They can try to hide it all they want to. They've lost belief. Nagy doesn't believe in Mitchell Trubisky anymore. Nobody in Chi-Town believes in Mitchell Trubisky any longer. And you definitely need it. Even though he can run, he's got some good wheels on them. They ain't like the wheels that Kaepernick got on them, I can tell you that much. And I think that Kaepernick definitely will run with the football effectively. You can look at teams like Buffalo, Tennessee, teams like that could jump out at you, particularly with Buffalo, with a 6-3 record in position to fight for a playoff spot, a postseason spot right now as a wild card. But I would tell you, ultimately, when I think about that defense that's in Chicago and what Colin Kaepernick would bring to the table, for them with his athletic ability and just a winning mentality. We know that this guy, at least from what we saw a few years ago, if he's anything like that, he's capable of performing in big moments. I wouldn't rule that out.
Well, I don't like him on Chicago just because Trubisky is Colin Kaepernick. You're right about big moments. Kaepernick led his team to the Super Bowl and then came a pass away from leading his team to 2 Super Bowls. But and Trubisky has not done that in the playoffs. But I don't know that Kaepernick's faster than Trubisky. Trubisky's fast. Mm-hmm. Trubisky's a big-armed, not that accurate, fast quarterback.
Not that hard.
Which is well, right. We don't know about the heart, but which is basically what Kaepernick is. I don't think you got to replace Kaepernick with Kaepernick. A team I do think, look, you go one of two ways with Kaepernick right now if teams are serious about him. You either take a team that's a quarterback away from doing something in the playoffs, or you take a team that needs an insurance policy, okay? Here's a quarterback away team. Your Pittsburgh Steelers, Stephen A. Smith. You put Kaepernick on that team, you let him hold the clipboard for a while just to get his feet wet, get to know the offense, see what they could do in practice with him, how they could open up the playbook a little bit. You have him ready for the playoffs and continue to win? Who knows what could happen? What a storybook ending to a season that would be for Mike Tomlin. No Roethlisberger. Forget about AB and Le'Veon Bell. Left for dead and come back with Kaepernick to make noise in the playoffs. Or you could go the insurance policy route. How about the Pats or the Seahawks? Great quarterback and Russell Wilson, MVP, Tom Brady, multiple-time Super Bowl winner, but not a lot behind those guys. You bring in a Kaepernick with strong coach, strong leadership, get his feet wet. If anything happens to them, you got a guy you can't account for so easily in Kaepernick coming off the bench. But I would say Steelers are the team.
See, this is what you guys are missing. First of all, I love the first segment when you guys kind of talked about what you felt about this. There's a reason it's on a Saturday and not a Tuesday. Colin Kaepernick tweeted about GMs and head coaches being there. They will not. They'll be preparing for their games on Sunday and on Monday and for the rest of the season. This isn't a this season workout. This is a combine type thing. And what are combines for? The next year. This is for a team that may kick the tires on Colin Kaepernick, see where he is, and maybe bring him in then, if it's even a real thing and not a PR stunt. So when you look at teams from that perspective, I do see the Pittsburgh Steelers as a place, but not because Colin Kaepernick has to go right in and be the starter, but because they have a great head coach. Not a good head coach, a great head coach.
In case there was any doubt. In case there was any doubt, this year lays that to rest.
Right.
Absolutely. And so now when you bring him in with a head coach like that, a head coach that behaves himself in that manner, that type of personality, that level of character, Colin Kaepernick is a guy that can grow there because Ben Roethlisberger will be on his way out. And you've kind of seen what Mason Rudolph has done. And offensive coordinator Randy Fichtner has found out ways to do different things. I think another team, and this is not from a starting perspective, is the New England Patriots. You have a head coach who can make any decision that he wants and no one questions it. If Bill Belichick wants to go ahead with Colin Kaepernick, there's not going to be people on the outside saying he made the wrong decision unless Colin Kaepernick goes out there and can't play. And so you go to a place like that understands how to build offenses week to week, and having a guy like Kaepernick can build around him.
Stephen A., Ryan, can we be real for a second, though, guys? If you're talking about next season, you guys really think 4 years this man hasn't been in an NFL uniform, played in an NFL game? Stephen A., you honestly think that he can just jump in there and play?
That's where everybody's making their mistake about my position. I didn't say anything about what I think. I'm telling y'all what was told to me over the last 12 hours. I came on the air and started off the show, and I left the opinions to Max because the phones have been blowing up, and they're saying this to me. I have no idea. I saw Colin Kaepernick a few weeks ago. He looked in phenomenal shape. That much I can tell you physically. I didn't see him throw a football. I haven't seen him throw a football since 2016. I have no clue. But I'm telling you what they're saying to me, Ryan, because I'm coming directly to you with this, because I don't know. This is what they're saying. Obviously, you're absolutely right, and I pointed this out. The workout that took place, not just the fact that it's on a Saturday, that it's league sanctioned, league organized. He's an unrestricted free agent. Usually when you're being worked out, an individual team brings you in.
Yes.
Why is the league doing this? Because the league was called about Colin Kaepernick by several teams who were interested in him but scared to go out front and center because if they meet with him and he stinks and he can't throw, or they meet with him and he says, guess what? I'm going to continue to protest, and I don't give a damn what kind of headache it gives y'all. And they backed out. It would give them a headache. They would be in the eye of the storm, and as an individual team, they don't want that. So the only reason that the NFL is in this position is to provide those individual teams cover, and if those individual teams need cover now, I've been told the reason is because they're anticipating making a decision on Colin Kaepernick by next week or the week after. That's what I've been told. I don't know. I have no clue. But that's what I'm telling you what they have told me.
Ryan, can you speak to that, though, as a player?
Listen,
4 years of not playing?
The closest thing we've ever seen to this was Michael Vick. Michael Vick went into a great situation. He didn't have to play right away. Andy Reid was able to move him along, and eventually he got to a point, to me, where he was the best passer he'd ever been in his career when he was the starter for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I feel like Colin Kaepernick would be much like that. I believe the thing that Colin Kaepernick may have is that the league has changed. Michael Vick had to come back into this league and be a pocket passer. Michael Vick couldn't use some of those things that we see the Lamar Jacksons and we see the Deshaun Watsons with the way that the quarterback position has changed and offensive have been built around them. And so Colin Kaepernick could work his way into helping and could work his way into being a productive quarterback this year. This just doesn't smell right to me. It doesn't feel right. And I've heard the same thing you've heard, Stephen A. It's about people calling in and saying they want to see what he is. They want to see if he's ready to play. And if he is, they want to make a decision where they're not put out front and center to the world to say, okay, we care or we may want to bring Colin in. But even with that, I don't think this is a this year decision. I don't think this is a decision that we want him to play right now. You may see for the future, this is a guy you can have on your team and continue to build with, whether he's your backup or he's your starter. I just don't think teams are looking to say Colin Kaepernick can take us over the hump this year.
That was my.
I'm quoting here, Ryan. Colin Kaepernick would have to throw the ball into the stands or have to come into team's face being an absolute rebel in order not to have a job within the next 2 weeks.
But
that's what I was told.
But even that job, in terms of legal maneuvering, even if he had a job, would that job have a chance to be a permanent job or a long-term job, or is that even legal coverage?
I have no idea.
It just smells to me. The only thing I could think that's big enough to make this happen and make the NFL this jittery and leaking information and setting up nationally is not that a team's like, hey, we want to take a look at Kaepernick. Can you give us cover? It's a looming CBA. You know, something tectonic like that, where they're like, okay, we need to dot all our I's and cross all our T's, get him on a roster, whether or not he stays this year for a week or two, whatever it is. Something like that I could see, but Stephen A., the impetus for this to me seems to be legal butt covering by the NFL.